Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I'm sending you the warmest welcome. Today's video is a more chilled out, relaxed, chatty little video. I haven't got any makeup on. I'm in my loungewear set. This is the gorgeous new oversized hoodie from Girl of Muse. I'm absolutely in love with this. I've also got my coffee and I thought we'd just sit down and have a little chat. Today's video was inspired by Faye Bates. I saw Faye do it over on her channel and I really wanted to do it for my channel. So today's video is things that boys do to give you the ick, and I asked over on my Instagram for people to send in their icks, and I also asked for people to send in either disastrous relationship problems or disastrous dating stories that they have. I did get quite a few responses, so thank you to everyone who sent in something. I did have a quick look through and some of them are really funny. So we'll start off with the things that boys do to give you the ick, and then we'll move on to the stories. So the first one is people chewing with their mouth open. Now, I do agree with this. I have a friend who does this and my other friend absolutely hates it. You know who I'm on about. Honestly, I just feel like the noise of the chewing is just disgusting. It's something that I feel like, I feel like if you've been in a relationship for a long time, you do get used to it. But I feel like it's something that you shouldn't really get used to. I do feel like boys are more, what word shall I use? They don't have as much manners as girls, so I feel like boys do it more often than girls. So it is quite a common thing. The next one is if he doesn't drive, lol. So this one, for me, isn't really an ick. It is something that if they have ambitions to drive and they want to drive and, you know, they're taking their tests or they're doing things to learn how to drive, then fair enough. But if the girl drives and the boy doesn't and they don't even want to drive, then yeah, I completely understand. But if the girl doesn't drive, then they don't really have much to say. So I can relate to this in some kind of way, but for me it's if they don't have any ambition to drive and they don't want to drive, that's what bugs me. When they talk about how fit another girl is when they're with you, okay, yes, definitely. I wouldn't say I'm overly jealous, but if a boy is going to say that another girl is fit in front of me, then why are they with me? Why are they commenting on how fit other girls are in front of me? Please don't. I completely 100% agree with that one. The ring of pasta sauce on their mouths. Well, I was going to say yes, but I'm a very messy eater when it comes to pasta. So I'm probably the one that's going to get that ring of pasta sauce around their mouth. And if someone is still attracted to me when I'm like that, then hands up to you all, because I don't really find it very attractive. But like I said, I am the one that would get the pasta sauce around their mouth. The next one is boys that call you bro. Now, I can definitely agree with this one, because if a boy calls me bro, then to me they're kind of like the chavvy type and I'm not into that. So it would be a complete put off for me in the first place, because I'm not really into that type of boy. But yeah, definitely no. Another one was chewing loudly, which was like the first one. So yeah, 100%. I got another one. When they exaggerate stories when you first meet them and you can tell it's utter rubbish. Now this one makes me laugh, because something that gives me the ick about boys is when they're telling you a story or telling you something about their lives when you first meet them, and then a few months later or a few years later, and they completely change the story, and you're like, hang on a minute, when we first met, didn't you say that this happened? And you just completely call them out on it. That is a nick for me, is when they lie or they exaggerate or downgrade a story when you first meet them, but then you call them out on it either a few months or a few years later. So yes, girl, I can completely agree with you on this one. I just feel like people who do this, I just don't understand their concept, because if you're going to lie or you're going to over exaggerate, it's not you. Whereas for me, I would personally want to get to know the real you, and it's going to put me off a few months or years later because you've lied to me. So another one I got is when he doesn't brush his teeth or bad hygiene. Yes, 100% that would give me the ick, because when you go to kiss them and all you can smell is what they had for tea last night, how is that attractive? And I don't understand why you wouldn't want to brush your teeth in the first place. Because for me, when I wake up, the first thing I want to do is brush my teeth, because I hate the horrible feeling of unhygienic breath and last night's teeth. I got another one for poor hygiene and smelly breath. Another one is when he wears Air Force Ones. Now, I have a pair of these, so I can't really say that it gives me the ick, because if I wear them, then I can't really stop him from wearing them. But, like I said earlier, I'm not really into the chavvy type, and I think chavvy boys would wear Air Force Ones. So, for me, I wouldn't be attracted to them in the first place. So, they were all the icks that I got. Moving on to the bad dating stories. So the first one is, a guy was so boring on the first date, I got very drunk and ended up being sick on him. Oh dear. If I was that guy, I honestly don't know what I would do. I can guarantee that there was no second date after this, because one, he was boring, and two, he ended up being sick on. So I don't really know what to say about that. I feel like, I was going to say, wouldn't you be really embarrassed? But if you're that drunk, you wouldn't even remember it when you wake up the next morning. Oh, imagine the stories that you would be told the next morning of what happened. And imagine if he texted you and said what you'd done and you had no recollection of what was going on or what had happened. I would honestly be mortified. Another story is, on my first date with my now boyfriend, my fake ponytail fell out as it was windy. I looked bold. Well, I would say that that was a successful first date, because if he's now your boyfriend and you've been together for quite some time, then there was obviously nothing wrong with that. I feel like girls nowadays, we can't really change our hair, so we have to. I'm very lucky that I was born with nice, thick, luscious hair, so I've never used extensions. I've never had to put a fake ponytail in or a fake bun in or anything like that. But if you've got thin hair, then there's nothing really that you can do to thicken it out apart from wear extensions. So if you're going to wear a fake ponytail, you flaunt that fake ponytail, girl. And unfortunately the wind got in the way, but like I said, it must have been a successful date for him to now be your boyfriend. Another story is, I got stood up an hour before I was about to go on a date. The guy literally blocked me off everything and ghosted me. I was literally ready and everything waiting for him to pick me up. Felt like such a twat. That was a bit of a disaster. That was definitely a bit of a disaster, girl. Honestly, to be honest, I am the one that would, I wouldn't say ghost, because I don't block them, but I would say yes to going on a date, but then the morning of the date I would turn around and say that I don't want to go, just because I get really bad, I wouldn't say, would I call it anxiety? I don't really know, but I get really nervous and I always think of everything that could go wrong instead of thinking, do you know what, this could be really good, this could be really nice to meet somebody new, you know, it could go really well. I always think of all of the negatives and it just puts me off and I don't want to go. So I personally don't think I will get stood up because I'm usually the one standing people up myself. But girl, honestly, for him to block you off everything, why? I just don't understand why ask somebody to go on a date and then an hour before completely ghost them and block them off everything. What was the point? What a complete waste of time. The last story I got is also got told on a date that I reminded them too much of their sister, so they didn't want a second date. I mean, what does that even mean? Surely, okay, surely when you're getting to know somebody, you can see a picture of them. I mean, I wouldn't get to know somebody without seeing what they look like. So he's obviously seen a picture of you, right? So how has he not then realised that you look like, unless it was a blind date, then you wouldn't know. But how has he not known before that you look like his sister? I mean, that's just awkward and very unlucky. But if his sister, like this girl that sent me these in, if his sister looks like you, then she's a very stunning sister, I can tell you that. So those were all the icks and dating stories that I received. Again, thank you so much to everybody that sent them in. I really enjoyed reading through them and reacting to them. If you would like me to do this again, then please let me know in the comments below and I'll put it up on my Instagram again. I will also leave my link to my Instagram down below so that if you want to interact with my stories and get involved in these videos, because I do them quite often, then please go ahead and follow me. I really hope you have enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe down below, and I'll see you in my next one.